What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for tuning in. It has been a grind for me. Work has been a little crazy, but the biggest issue that I've been having, guys, I've had to learn how to take my carburetors off of my boat and get those cleaned up. I think I've got that problem fixed somewhat. I do need to replace gaskets and stuff on the carburetors, but I can get it now to where the boat will actually start and stay running. So hopefully pretty soon I will be getting some of those videos out on the water fishing, trying out some of these cool products. My brother has moved back in town, my middle brother, and before he left a few years back, I had this idea. I like to buy the Strike King lures, and he has started buying a lot of the Googan bait lures. So I had this idea that we were going to go out fishing and have us a tournament, Strike King versus Googan baits, just to have a little fun tournament. Now that he's back, we're going to try to get that video for you guys, so please stay tuned for that. If you guys like what you've been seeing so far, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you like the video. Leave comments and share the video, please. It helps make all of this stuff grow. I'm going to be getting out on the range soon. It's hot out here. Like, it is really hot out here, so I got to be careful with that. However, we're not getting a whole lot of rain, and so the grounds down at the gun club that I go to, when we get a lot of rain, it gets really muddy. So right now it's really dry out there, so should be able to get out there and do some stuff on the range for you guys. With all that being said, people, it is that time. It's past that time. I'll put it that way. It's past that time. I've been sitting on this Monsterbass bag for a few days now. One of the reasons that I did not get out here to get that video done was because of the assassination shooting of Mr. Charlie Kirk, and a lot of the comments that I was seeing, some of them from within the family, it was some very disheartening things to see. And for me personally, I could not come out here and do a Monsterbass video, because I would like to think, or I am trying to, when I do these videos with these Monsterbass bags, I'm trying to give you guys from my knowledge that I have. I'm not going to say expertise, because I'm not an expert. But from what I know from the lures in these bags, I want to try to get that information across to you guys as best as I can. And sometimes I will try to add a little bit of comedy in with that. But I could not do that around this situation, because for me personally, this right here was hurting. Because the comments that I was seeing, whether it was on social media or, well, even still on social media, but from people within the family or very close family friends that you basically consider them family, the things that I was seeing, the comments and stuff, this was hurting. And for me, I didn't feel like I could come out here and do a video for you guys about this stuff without that on my heart and my mind, and actually try to give you a really good video about having fun and going out fishing. So that is one of the reasons that it took me a while to come out here and do this. So with that being said, you know, my heart goes out to that guy and his family. I never got a chance to meet the guy in person. I never went to any of his events. I wish I could have. From the videos that I watched of him, very fun, very insightful. I'm not even gonna lie, guys, there were things that I didn't know and things that I was not taught growing up that was going on, you know, throughout history of our country. And I now understand a lot of the things he was saying and the turn of events that it had in this country. It really opened my eyes up to some things. I'll put it that way. So, again, my heart goes out to that guy and his family, for his wife and his 2 children. I pray everything works out for them, and I know God is going to keep a hand over that family. Any other family that is out there, because at the same time there was a school shooting. One kid was killed, unalived, as people like to say on Facebook now. One was injured, and then I think another was injured, and that third one was the school shooter themselves. So a lot of evil stuff going on in the country, guys, and you can't really point the finger at an inanimate object, but we need to do some soul searching, because if you are out here celebrating, or, you know, as the old saying, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But people have gotten too comfortable with saying the mean and hateful things and thinking that there's no consequence behind it. So we need to do some serious soul searching. We need to do some serious praying, having conversations with Jesus and with God, and get things back on track the way they used to be. With that being said, let's jump into September's Monster Bass. As always, you have your booklet that has all of your information in it. We have the card, your little ticket. This date has already passed, so, or at least it says every Thursday. So every Thursday, 7 p.m. tune in to the Monsterbass channel on YouTube. If they call your number, you win prizes. Looks like we got some throwback stickers. The Glide Bait sticker, which I think I've got somewhere here in my shop. Yes, I have a big one over there on my wall above my gun stuff. And then that's one of the old throwback skull stickers with the Monsterbass logo on it. And then we have our bag full of goodies. So as always, I'm going to jump into my little booklet here and see what we got. Let me go ahead and adjust the camera for you guys. I love this little deal that I got where I can use either this remote, or it does have facial recognition to follow me and move around, but right now I'm just using the remote control. So this month's product testing looks like a crankbait with a blade on it. So here we go. I have, and it is a SixGill, I'm sorry, Jesus, it's not a SixGill. I'm all kind of, it is a Monsterbass crankbait. You guys can see that. I'm thinking SixGill because that's my fishing rods that I like to use. Shout out to SixGill. But this one looks like the green gill is the color on this one. Yes. It dives down to 4 to 6 feet deep, so this is a shallow water crankbait. It weighs a ½ ounce. So small little crankbait there with the little blade there to add a little bit more flash. Also adds a little bit more vibration to help those fish find this lure. I would say this is probably, with this color, I would probably throw this in stained, getting up to that muddy color water would probably be a good place to throw this, especially with that blade on there. But I would still, you could still throw this around in probably some good clear water, because it does look like a good bluegill. I would probably throw this 10 to 12 pound fluorocarbon line. Make sure you got a good crankbait rod. I know some of the rod companies label their rods, and they even tell you whether it's a crankbait rod or not. So make sure you got the right setup, right fishing lines. For crankbaits, I would probably, if you can find a reel that's that 5-to-1 gear ratio speed, or at least a 6-to-1, that way you're not fishing it too fast and you're not overworking yourself trying to burn that thing, and you're just going to wear yourself out. So I would stick to that low to medium low speed range on your reel. Like I said, 12 to 10 pound test line. I wouldn't go no lower than 10, and that should get you down there and get you some bites. And then, okay, so the next lure that I have in the book here. Okay, so on this one page here, it's talking about topwater action, and it mentions a hollow body frog, which this is a buzz frog from Blitz Lures. This one's called Brown Rattler. I don't know if that's in the book here, because it has a hollow body walking frog, and then it has a popping frog. So this one is a hollow body frog, and they call it a hollow body because when you squeeze the body of it, you can squeeze it in. And I mean, look at how soft that is. You guys can see that when I squeeze down on that, how it shows the hook. So get a good hook ratio there, good hook up. But the way these legs are designed, they're not your normal legs like on a frog. So you can actually throw this one out and reel it in, and those little legs are going to kick on the surface, causing a lot of commotion, some water disturbance and displacement and stuff, and is in a sense going to call those frogs up. Well, here it is, number 3. Soft plastic toads, deadly when bass are chasing fast moving prey, buzzed across mats or open water like a buzzbait. Pair with EWG hook or screw lock frog. So these are really good frogs to throw. If you don't feel like doing any of the popping or trying to walk a frog, throw this one out, reel it back in like a buzz bait, and get some really good blow ups. Again, make sure you got the right setup, because normally these are weedless. So you're going to be throwing those into some thick cover, so you probably want some braided line. Let's see here. We got a suggestion. 7-foot to 7.6 heavy power, fast action rod for hook sets and pulling power. For your reels, you want a high-speed bait caster. 7.1 to 1 or faster to pick up slack or drive the hook. The line, you want anywhere from 50 to 65 pound braid. That braid will slice through the vegetation and ensures solid hook penetration. For the soft body frogs, you want a 4 to 5/0 extra wide gap frog or double frog hooks. So there you go. Not going to get into specifics on a company or a brand, but just make sure you're somewhere in that 7 to 7.6 heavy power fast action rod. Your bait caster, 7 to 1 or faster on your gear ratio. Your fishing line, anywhere from 50 to 65 pound braid. Okay. Checking to see, we got our calendars and best times for fishing water, your water depth, the water color, all of that good stuff. This last page is talking about a square bill, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I have a square bill in here. Give me a second so I can look. No, I don't have a square bill. However, another product, Monsterbass has been doing this thing where they've been taking baits, no name brands or nothing like that on there, and you can test these products, scan the QR code, and then give your feedback. This one here, we have a jerk bait. It's a 110 millimeter is the length, It weighs in at 14 grams. It dives down to 1 to 2 meters. The hooks that come with this are the Mustad number 4. The pre-release name is Ripper 110. So the color is called Sniper Matte Shad. So that is a really good shad pattern color there on that lure. I can't think of the name of the bill, but that's a nice long bill, so that should dive down pretty deep. I mean, it says 1 to 2 meters, so reel it down and then start working it. Again, with jerk baits, guys, you got to remember you're working your rod tip in a downward fashion. You can pop up. I've seen in some of the tournaments when anglers are fishing a jerk bait, when you're always snapping down, and remember, you want to change up your cadence. Bang, 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 whatever it may be. With forward-facing sonar, which I don't have, I would love to get one. I'd love to get one really soon, but that's gonna have to be something that comes down the road. But I've seen the anglers fishing their tournaments, or whether it's their YouTube channels, and they're fishing a jerk bait. When you can see those fish on your forward-facing sonar, I've seen them where they're twitching down, and then to give it a different look, they'll start popping it up, and sometimes that triggers that bite. So work your jerk baits accordingly. Again, if you have a forward-facing sonar, it'll probably be a little bit easier because you can see what the fish are doing and how they're reacting to your lure. So kind of keep that in mind, guys, when you're fishing jerk baits. You know, try a cadence, and if that cadence isn't working, switch the cadence. It might be how you're working that lure. Okay, moving on to something else. So we have here a Tackle HD. These things look like some humongous centipedes. So these are called Megamite 8-inch dark green pumpkin. Wow, this thing's the juice that's on here. But look at this thing. This thing is huge. And that's a good thing because, you know, even though we're in September, we're still kind of, at least here where I'm at in Arkansas, you still got that late summer fishing. So it ain't time to put up your big worms. That would be a really good thing to throw probably on a Carolina rig, on a Texas rig. You know, slow working that thing across the bottom. You know, that would be a really good lure. And that color, that green pumpkin, you never can go wrong with green pumpkin. For some reason, it always looks natural. Next, we have another Tackle HD little swim baits. These are in your swimmer 3.5 inch. The color of these is smoke pearl. For these, let's see if we can get one out. So for this little one here, I would probably put this on a jig head. I think they call it the Demiki rig, where you have small little swim baits like this. The tail is bent on this one, so that's gonna have a hard time swimming straight. But you put your little jig head on this and you throw it out there, reel it back in. Really, you can catch a whole lot on these. That might be a good size to throw on one of the A-rigs. I've never thrown an A-rig, so I can't tell you if that's too small or if that is the perfect size, but probably put that on a jig head and throw that out and working that lure. Again, with your forward-facing sonar, you should be able to pick those lures up pretty easy and trigger those bites. Okay, next up we have X-Zone Lures. My guy Brandon Polinick on there. This one is the Purple Shiner. These are tubes. There are several ways you can fish a tube. I haven't fished a tube. I don't fish tubes a whole lot. This has a lot of salt on it. I would probably say the best way to fish this tube is get you an actual tube jig head. It's a hollow body, so I would run that thing up through there and poke out the eye. out of the top and then fish it that way. But again, depending on the weight of your jig head, you can throw it on a bait caster or probably throw it on a spinning reel. I would say with the size of those, I would probably put that on a bait caster and probably flip that out into, like, depending on your jig head, around some laydowns, some trees, maybe around a dock or something like that. Last lure that I have is the Berkley War Pig and a half. This is their lipless crankbait. Okay, this color, it's a ½ ounce, 3 inches in length, weighs 14 grams, does have a rattle. I'm not seeing what this color is called. However, it looks like a little sunfish to me. That's what it looked like if you're fishing around, like, on the bank and you're catching those little bitty fish. This is what that looks like to me. So with a lipless crankbait, you have endless ways of fishing. The yo-yo method, where you throw it out, let it get down to the bottom, snap it up, and then as it flutters back down, you reel up your slack, snap it up again, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna rattle anytime it moves. But when you let it flutter down, and as soon as it gets to the bottom and you snap it up, it flutters up. So it almost looks like a dying bait fish that's just falling. And then it gets that little burst of energy and it comes up, and then you just let it go back down. Excuse me. The other way you can fish that is the old school, throw it out and then just reel it back in and let that thing just hunt. The nose usually points down and it's just coming through that water shimmying like this. So again, you can't go wrong fishing it that way. So that is all of the lures for the September bag. Again, where I'm at in the South region, it's still very hot out here, so that late summer fishing is still a thing. So I'm gonna adjust my camera. There we go. So as I was saying, here in the South, we still have that late summer fishing. So a lot of these lures are still going to be great to use. Now, one of the things that I have learned, especially with these Monsterbass bags, just because certain lures are talked about more during certain fishing periods, during fishing times, don't mean that those lures are exclusive to that particular time of fishing. Jerk baits, you can throw them in cold water. You're just going to slow down your retrieve. During the summer, spring and summer, you're going to speed that retrieve up because the bait fish are a lot more active. So keep that in mind. Whatever lures you're using, every one of these lures you can throw during the fall and during the winter. You will probably just have to change up your retrieve, your cadence, whatever the case may be, depending on what lure you're fishing. So if you guys have got you one of these, get out on the water, do some fishing, drop me a comment and let me know what you caught. If you haven't got one of these, click on that link down below, order you a Monsterbass bag. I do believe they still have their deal going where you can get 3 months for free and then you pay for that other month. So, or you pay for 3 months and then you get the 4th month for free. But I promise you, once you start getting these Monsterbass bags, you get all kind of lures. You probably will get lures that you've walked by 1,000,000 times in your bait shop and you never thought about getting them. And then you get one in these bags and you try that lure out and then you realize, hey, this is my new go-to lure. So get you a Monsterbass bag. You can't go wrong with these. And for the price that you pay monthly for one of these, I believe these bags, bag included, this is at least a $50 to $55 bundle right here, and I'm paying $35 a month through Monsterbass to get these. So you're getting a really good deal on getting these Monsterbass bags, because you're getting up to $50 worth of stuff if you go into a bait shop and buy it, and you can get it here from Monsterbass for less. But not only that, if you subscribe to the Monsterbass channel, you get these books that come in the bags when you order them. But if you subscribe to the Monsterbass channel, the Monsterbass channel, you can get a lot of great information from a lot of the professionals. And when I say professionals, I'm talking about guys like Brandon Polinick. You might even get Jacob Wheeler or somebody like that to be a guest on the Monsterbass channel to help give some insight on these lures. So you're getting a lot of information and really good lures. So again, you can't go wrong. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click on the bell, switch to all, so you get notified every time I do my videos. Also, if you like the videos, leave me a comment, hit that like button, share the videos, and if you do leave a comment, please let me know, what is it you want to see? Is there something specific you want me to talk about? Whether that be fishing gear, hunting gear, or if you're going out on the range and you're doing some range shooting or some tactical shooting, please drop me some comments about that stuff, and I will try my best to either answer those questions or talk about those comments, or when I get out on the do a video, then I'll try to remember and mention your comment and try to explain that stuff when I'm actually out, whether it's on the water or on the range or whatever I'm doing when it pertains to that stuff. Also guys, I don't do videos on fitness. However, if you do want to drop me some comments about that, the supplements that I use come from BuckedUP. I will leave that link down below as well. If you have questions about that, please drop comments and leave me questions and let me know that you're talking about whether it's BuckedUP or some kind of workout, and I'll try to answer those for you. That's all I have, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Till the next time, see you guys in the great outdoors.